Hey there, YouTube. This is a VR to the Piping Artist Steph 43rd birthday giveaway. That's awesome. Crazy too. We live in the same city, we're the same age, and we both do artistic things. Although I wish I was a painter. I'm not. My mother was a painter, and she was fantastic, and I'm not. But I sculpt and I do other things. I have a little art studio, so I feel like I can't wait to get to know you better on the videos. I hope you get to post more about the paintings and stuff and your artwork. And I know that you have a kind of a writer's block going on, which I can really relate to. It happens to me a lot. So anyway, hopefully mine or one of the other VRs out to you will help you break through that. I certainly hope. I will do my best. Okay, so we've got 4 questions. Before I get to that, I'm gonna light this one more time. I'm having some. This is this is so good. Frog Morton Cellar. I'm telling you what. I have not. There's the little stave cube in there. Wait, there it is. There it is. There it is. Look at that. Yeah, I can't do a review for this because it would just be me like swearing and saying wow a lot. I got nothing. I wish I could say I had a bunch of this, but I don't. Okay. Question 1. How has the world changed for you in all aspects? Man, yeah. The world has changed a lot, hasn't it? I could get caught up on a lot of the aspects. And we have a son, you know, the obvious things like that. But I want to focus on the one thing that really strikes me as life-changing type of, like a life-changing level of kind of world of difference between the world of a few years ago and the world today. So I know when I was a kid, I wanted to learn everything I could. I wanted to know how to do special effects the way they did movies and make, you know, latex creatures and all of that stuff. I wanted to learn more about artwork and how to do different kinds of, how to draw better, how to sculpt, you know, what kind of clays to use, how you do it. I wanted to learn how to code and program. I thought that was fascinating. I wanted to learn more about that. There were so many things. There were just endless things I wanted to learn. And I would buy books on on different subjects, and it was always hard for me to kind of get a grip on, you know, any one subject and really feel like I was learning that without going to school for it or something. And of course that takes a lot of time and it's very expensive. I always have trouble getting to whatever's at the bottom of this bowl because it's a very narrow, pointy, you know, cone type of pipe. Anyway, so now we live in this weird world. Now, of course, everybody talks about YouTube University. You know, if you want to learn something, you just get on YouTube and learn whatever you want. Yeah, that's a thing that exists. And you can get, you know, basic information on just about any subject on YouTube. You probably won't get a deep dive, but you'll get a lot. Well, there are other avenues. I mean, there are whole websites like edX and Coursera and a few others that tie into colleges and will get you into college level courses on things, and those are free too. You know, like, so I wanted to learn. I really wanted to get a really strong foundational grounding in programming. So I was able to take the Harvard CS50 computer science course, and it's free. You just take it on, you know, through edX. You'd even get a certificate and everything. Not only that, there it is. But they have other sort of adjunct, sort of little courses that kind of apply to it, or are similar part of the computer science department, that are also on YouTube. They have the whole course. You can just, you may not be able to take the class like you can CS50, but you can certainly watch all of the content. And I think that's amazing. And then if you really want something more specialized, I don't care what it is. If it's software, lynda.com, it's like $30 something, $25, something like that, a month, and you can just learn all you want. Become an expert at it. Special effects, the Stan Winston School. This is the same studio that made like the Queen Alien and Predator and the dinosaurs, the life-size dinosaurs, Jurassic Park, and all this cool stuff, the Terminator. You can learn from them, and they have courses all through there, and you just pay a monthly fee, and you can watch all these courses, become a, really like get some specialized training and how they do what they do. What's another one? If you want to learn how to sculpt, they're all kind of art classes in computer art and in design, sculpting, of course, basic drawing, on the Gnomon School. It's called the Gnomon School, Gnomon Workshop. It's another thing, and you just get these courses. edX, or no, what's the other one? Udemy. Udemy has a whole lot of, they just have everything. Their courses are like $12.99 usually, or $10 or whatever, and those courses are anywhere from 6 or 8 hours up to like 40 hours for some of them. And so you can really get specialized, training in just about anything you want. You can become an expert at anything, and that blows me away. We live in a world, I wish that I could have become an expert in just anything I wanted to learn back in the day. And now I feel like, I'm trying to catch up and watch all these things and get and soak up all this stuff. But that's just wow. That's something that I'm trying to impart to younger people, is you really can get out there and learn anything you want and be an expert in anything. You don't have to spend money on some kind of college. You don't have to learn a lot of things you don't want to learn. I mean, we're talking about specialized, specific training in very specific areas that you can go pick and learn anything you want. And it's all at your fingertips. And I don't know. I don't think there's anything more valuable than an education for yourself. So that's a huge fundamental change that I see in the world. So let's move on to number 2. What is your favorite quote and why? This actually is somewhat related. I'm going to give you 2 quotes because I'll go back and forth. So Tom Stoppard has a quote. Skill without imagination is craftsmanship and gives us many useful objects such as wickerwork picnic baskets. Imagination without skill gives us modern art. It's snarky and it cracks me up. But I love that quote because I am the kind of person who wants to kind of become an expert at whatever. I get somewhat, I often get more wrapped up in learning about it. It's like to my detriment. I will spend so much time trying to learn something new. I won't go out there and actually use my information I'm picking up. So that, I love that quote. I feel like a lot of people kind of want the quick, just run out and express themselves in some way without really soaking up any real craft, so that they have a way to express themselves, they don't have a vocabulary for themselves. I like creating skill for you, like learning skill, learning craft. It's like giving yourself vocabulary, it's hard to express yourself if you don't have that. So I wouldn't condemn all modern art, but I do think that's a funny way to put it. And I can see how I do personally feel more respect for people who are just amazing craftspeople, even if they don't consider themselves artists, than someone who considers himself an artist but hasn't really taken the time to learn any sort of craft. As someone who worked in movies for a long time, I got a lot of people coming at me saying, "I've got this idea for a screenplay." It's not how that works. Everyone has ideas for a screenplay. That's not the hard part. Is taking the concept and turning it into a screenplay. That's the work. You know, everything sounds like a good idea until you get in there and do the work, and then you hit the walls and you realize that you have work to do, and someone has to do that work. So yeah, I'm into the craft side of things. My other favorite one is from Ray Bradbury. I have never listened to anyone who criticized my taste in space travel, sideshows, or gorillas. When this occurs, I pack up my dinosaurs and leave the room. That's me in a nutshell. What is your favorite song? Is it different from when you were younger? You know, when I was young, I remember that. I know as a kid, like I liked a lot of music that had no words. I mean, one of my first albums was like the Star Wars, album, like the soundtrack, and I enjoyed a lot of classical, and I enjoyed a lot of instrumental music. But I don't know. When I was a teenager, I think the one that I remember being kind of my favorite for a long time was "Just Another Day" by Oingo Boingo. If I had to pick a favorite now, I don't know. It would probably be either "Running Up That Hill" or probably "Buenos Tardes Amigos" by Ween. "Buenos Tardes Amigo." That's probably my favorite. I mean, Kate Bush is amazing, so I don't know. It's hard to. But anyway, I just love that song, that Ween song, because it's like a spaghetti western, except ridiculous. Well, actually, I guess spaghetti westerns are kind of ridiculous too. What is your favorite book? All right, this is the fourth and last question. This one was kind of a draw, so I just brought both of them. One of them is A Princess of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs. And these are not books that I think are the best books ever written. These are my favorite books, like books that I could just read over and over and over. This is like my everyday smoke kind of book. And the other one, which is funny, because I remember when I found out this existed, I thought it sounded ridiculous. And I hadn't gotten into these books yet. And I was like, I'm going to get into these. And a friend of mine said, "Oh, you'll love this one." And I was like, that's stupid. Why did they... That's jumping the shark. They should have stopped there. And it was The Son of Tarzan. This is the fourth book in the series, and it is, I think, the best book he ever wrote. It's unbelievable. Just to give you an idea of what's packed into this book, Tarzan has a son who ends up estranged from him, and ends up, of course, wild and stranded in the jungle, and turns into this thing they call Korak the Killer, and he is like 10 times more vicious and frankly badass than Tarzan ever was. So, but it also has a much more I don't know, it has a more a much more resonating character twists and turns and plot, and than I think the first three books put together. So it's just fantastic. Anyway, like I said, these are just books I enjoy reading. They're not, I think, the best books ever written. I'm a big fan of science fiction, but I couldn't think of one particular science fiction book that sticks out, because what I usually do with sci-fi is I read it and I go on to the next thing. Adventure stories like this, I'll just read over and over. But I think the greatest science fiction book ever written, if I had to pick one, would be Dune. Anyway, I rambled on enough. Congratulations. Um, I hope that I haven't missed the deadline. I'm not actually sure what the deadline is, but hopefully I'm good. Anyway, congratulations again, and I can't wait to see more from you. I found you when someone else did a GOS. I'm so glad, or a VR. So I'm so glad that everybody's doing these GOS. Everybody keep doing this because this is how I'm finding people. So yeah, I look forward to more videos. And everybody, thanks for sticking with me on this 15.5 minute rambly video. I will talk to you guys again soon. Redstone out.